This morning I visited the Governor-General.
Climate is incredibly important to us, and at the next election it will be a choice for Australians about whether you can afford 3 more years of Labor. My message to President Putin is that he's not welcome in our neighbourhood.
So I just landed back in Canberra after 5 days on the campaign trail with Peter Dutton, which was a fascinating experience as always. I love election campaigns. They're always interesting. A few months ago, a lot of people thought Anthony Albanese was going to lose. And here we are a day before the election, and most people think he's going to win. And not just win, but may even win comfortably. One complaint you'll always hear from journalists, and me included, is that modern election campaigns are virtually sealed off from the public. The media minders become very worried about exposing the candidate to everyday interactions with ordinary voters. I can see why they do that, because when it goes badly,
good morning, sir. How are you?
They have to deal with days of negative coverage of a voter yelling something abusive at the candidate, or as we saw this week with Peter Dutton, some anti-nuclear protesters turned up and he had to cancel the press conference that he was about to give. So those kind of unscripted moments really do worry the brains trusts of not just Peter Dutton, but also the Prime Minister. A difference in this campaign is that as we got further into this campaign, the people behind Albanese started to really loosen their grip on him and gave him a bit more room to move. And I think that really helped him.
Okay. The Prime Minister heads into this final stretch ahead. Thank you. Do you feeling confident?
See how we go.
But the opposite happened with Peter Dutton. The further we got into the campaign, the tighter the sort of vacuum around him seemed to get. And I think that's to his detriment. So Peter Dutton in private is always, to me, the person that he was when he entered Parliament in 2001. And that is quite a warm, friendly, funny person. And he was, again, that person on the campaign trail in private. The problem, I think, for him is that he hasn't been able to convey those things that I see in private in public. And I do think what Peter Dutton needs to be able to do to lift his standing with voters is convey more of the private Peter Dutton, if he does survive as leader after the election for an extended period. I think he's going to have to put some serious effort into softening his public image. One of the main criticisms of Peter Dutton's campaign is that he's looked so unprepared, that the policy offerings that he's put forward have been so lacking in detail. It seems to me that what's actually happened is that they were as prepared as they thought they needed to be. And they've really been found wanting when it comes to policy. So, of course, the most interesting story of this election is who wins. But the day after that, it's what happens to the loser. And if Peter Dutton loses, then I think we're going to see 12 months of real pain for him. If Peter Dutton loses his seat, then he's obviously out of Parliament, and that's a nice clean exit for him. If he loses badly but holds onto his seat, then I think he's going to have real kind of misery as the critics within his party start to arm themselves and come after him. Of course, there is a chance that Peter Dutton does better than we expect him to. If he gets more than, say, 63, 64 seats, then I think he'll probably survive. And then he's got a decent chance of winning the next election. Because right at the start of this term, he made it pretty clear that he had a 2-term strategy to try to become Prime Minister. But if he gets less than 64 seats, then I think he's going to have a really miserable next 12 months in politics. And we're going to see definitely someone try to take him down.